Hello golfers, Jess Frank coming to you from the beautiful Deer Creek Golf Club in Deerfield Beach, Florida. And today, got a special subject I'd like to talk to you about, motor programming versus strength. So this is something that I talk about all the time in training and understanding that you can learn the golf swing. Doesn't mean you're going to play on the PGA Tour, doesn't mean you're going to play on the LPGA Tour, but you can learn a golf swing by proper motor programming, and you don't have to be strong at all. I've taught, little girls 5, 6 years old who can hit the ball 30, 40, 50 yards. And I've taught older gentlemen who, are strong and can bench press 300 pounds that have a hard time hitting the golf ball. So it's something that you have to learn, and motor programming and learning the correct steps of hitting a golf ball is so important, and I believe it's achievable for any level of golfer. You just have to learn the correct body movements and understand how the golf club works around your body to hit the ball solid. And learning the fundamentals, starting with fundamental number 1 of making really good contact, is super important. So this is something that whether you're a 90s or 100 shooter and want to get down into the 90s or 80s or 70s, you can do this. Now, motor programming takes practice, takes a lot of work away from the golf ball, away from the driving range, because you want to work on moving your body and your club correctly. A lot of slow motion movements, a lot of freeze frames. I have a great video, P1 to P10, that can help you with that. That's I'll link that in the description so you can see that. So I mean, that's something that I think can really help you. So motor programming and my system of golf that I teach as a stack and tilt authorized instructor, that's what we do. We motor program you to help you hit the ball more solid. And so we always start with fundamental number 1 of where do you hit the ground. Most people hit the ground too far behind the ball, they miss the ground, or they hit the ball on the toe or the heel, or too low or too high on the face. And so you have to learn that first step, okay? That first step is super important. So going through the motor programming, what do? Okay, we set up to the ball, we get ourselves into a good setup with a good grip, okay? We get our weight a little bit more on the left leg, and we start with little swings of hitting the ground in the same spot over and over again, okay? I could go into any local restaurant or hotel or any place off the street, and I can ask somebody, give somebody a golf club, and you can determine the level of golfer they are. If I put a strip of paint on the ground and I said, okay, or piece of tape on the ground, I said, okay, let's just hit that piece of tape, and I guarantee you the vast majority of people would miss the tape. And that goes with people who also shoot in the 90s or 100s and want to get down to lower scores. So this is something that I always say, let's learn this fundamental number 1 and motor program, and to hit the ball solid. And that's number 1. So a lot of times, especially with beginners, I'll just start with putting, and then we'll learn how to deflect the ball off the face with putting, and then from there we move to chipping. So what you do is you start, okay, I can move the club and hit the ball, and I can move the club and hit the ball with a little chipping stroke. So I can start with putting, I can start putting, I can always hit the ball putting, but I've seen people miss it with putting too. So you have to take your time with that. Then from there you go to chipping, so smaller swing, but you're still doing the same thing. You're still moving the club back and forth, and you're going to chip the ball out. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. Like I've seen, take people to go from putting to chipping, and then on chipping they top the ball sometimes, but they're hitting the ball. They're starting to learn the bottom of the swing. So motor programming into that, into the small swings, learning how to hit the ground every time. So this is a systematic approach to learning golf. So what you want to do from here is that from that point you're going to take the club back a little farther now. So you learn how to tilt the body, what gives rise to the club, and then you're always hitting the ground in the same spot over and over again. So you're better off not hitting a lot of golf balls. You're better off doing high quality reps versus quantity, okay? And so you don't want to just go out here and just hit ball after ball after ball after ball. You want to work on learning how to move your body so the club moves correctly so you can hit the ball solid every single time, okay? So you want to learn that. So the weight's on the left, my arms are straight, then I start tilting my shoulders, and now I just hit the ball a little farther, okay? But I hit it right out of the center of the face, and the ball, you know, had a lot of ball speed on it, so it went about 80 yards. Just a real easy shot, okay? So in teaching golfers, especially newer golfers who have been told all these different things from their friends or spouses about keeping your head down and staying down. In fact, I gave a golf lesson yesterday to a young lady who thought she was coming, you know, her head was coming up. In fact, her head was going down and her body was going down, but she kept topping the golf ball, okay? So that's, and she was a collegiate athlete, so she had all the strength in the world, but didn't have the motor programming to understand how to move a golf club and hit the golf ball. So once we understood how the body moved, how the arms moved, how you're not trying to go down and try to hit at the ball, you know, once you start to learn how the club moves correctly, you know, and how your body moves correctly, then you can start to build out on that. And in fact, we went to chipping, and we started chipping and learning how the little swings work. And then we built it out, and all of a sudden she was hitting a pitching wedge, you know, near 100 yards up in the air every single time, instead of topping every ball and then looking like she was hurting herself trying to go down after the golf ball, still topping the ball, yet her body was going down. So that's super important. I can show you, I can top a golf ball all day and keep my head down, okay? So that's where we have to learn the fundamentals of the game and how your body works. And of course, learning fundamental number one, just starting from that point, is huge. So we're hitting the ground in the same spot every time. So go ahead and do that again. So weight's on the left foot. My arms are straight. I'm going to tilt my shoulders. And I just hit another little shot. So that went a little farther. That went about 115, 120 yards right there. So that was nice, really solid out of the center of the face. Didn't top it. Not trying to swing hard, okay, but I just hit it a little further. But I'm always hitting the ball, I'm always hitting the ground in the same spot. I'm always hitting the ball solid every single time. So again, this does not take a lot of strength. I do not need to go to the gym every day and, you know, bench press to hit a golf ball. But it's something that you can do and not, you know, and train yourself to hit the ball. That's why girls on the LPGA tour who are, you know, 5'6" and can hit the ball 250 yards, because they've trained themselves, they've motor programmed themselves to be able to move the club around their body to produce the most transfer of momentum into the club head. So, but they've always learned how to hit it solid first. That was number one. They did that when they were a little kid. They learned how to hit the ball solid, whether it be through putting or chipping or pitching, just a little swings that are able to do that. And I remember as a kid going through my junior program up in Chicago, we didn't hit the driving range until after the first couple of years of summer junior golf camp. So it was super important that, and now I realize, is that we were learning fundamental number one. Hit the ball with the putter, make contact with the putter every time. Chip the ball, make contact with the chipping. Then from there it becomes a lot easier. And you know, as a kid, you're not thinking about every shot you make because you're not judging yourself. So you're back up here. Now we go back a little further. So now we add, there's a little bit of wrist hinge to the swing. You can see my club is up a little higher. I'm staying very centered. And from here, you can see my weight's forward. I come on the other side. Now I'm gonna have a bigger swing. Okay. So I'm gonna go from here. Now I just hit a little further. And all the time, so that went about 130 yards right there. So all the time I'm working on grip, good setup, where my body is. I'm learning how to tilt my body. I'm not trying to swing hard. I'm making a motion. It's amazing how many times I give a golf lesson and they're like, wow, I just hit the ball just as far as I did when I tried to swing as hard as I could. And I said, yes, because now you're hitting the ball more in the center of the face and you're using your body correctly now. You're using the angles correctly. You're transferring momentum. You're building a tilt in here where when you tilt the body, you actually add a huge lever to your golf swing to hit the ball a mile longer. I mean, I can't tell you how much that helped me for my golf swing. So this is something that I know can really help your game. I know can change your golfing life and really can help you build a better golf game. So remember, learn the body movements, do a lot of swings away from the golf course, motor program yourself, okay? Motor program, learn the motions, okay? Learn how to hit the ground in the same spot every single time. I know sometimes that's a little tedious, it takes a while, but you'll be able to do it. That's what all the best players do every single time. And then you'll be able to hit the ball more solid, you'll get better faster, you'll play better on the golf course, by the way, too, which will be a huge advantage for you. And that's what we like around here at the Jess Frank Golf Academy here at the beautiful Deer Creek Golf Club. So thanks again for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. Please hit that like button and also leave a comment. Let me know how you like the video. Any feedback would be awesome. And keep watching and keep playing great golf. Great to see you. We'll see you soon.